Today, let's talk about some of the best new and upcoming exploration games. Now, it's hard to narrow some games specifically down to just exploration, but plenty of games have great exploration in a variety of different ways, be it how it's rewarded, how it feels, how much of the game it encompasses. So we got a lot of games to talk about today, some familiar ones and some you haven't heard of. We got 15 of them, in fact, so let's get started off with number 15. Sea of Stars is one that we'll admit we've talked about a lot on the channel recently, and that's because it seemingly looks like a love letter to JRPGs. So if you've played any classic style JRPGs from Super Nintendo to the original PlayStation and beyond, you can know what to expect here. Sea of Stars looks absolutely awesome from an art direction standpoint. The sprites, the bosses, the exploration here though seems to be really cool because of this magical land. And with that, the developers are the people behind The Messenger, another kind of old school throwback game, so we kind of feel like they know what they're doing here. And this is going to be a story-rich adventure in a new world. You're journeying around, you're battling, and this is the type of exploration we like. When it comes to JRPGs, scurrying around with your little sprites and discovering new areas and new things is just something that warms our hearts. So we're really looking forward to Sea of Stars. It releases August 29th, 2023. Next, over at number 14, we have Stalker 2: Heart of Chornobyl, another one that we've admittedly discussed a lot in recent weeks on this channel, but that's because we're really looking forward to it. And the original Stalker games had some great survival-style exploration, so we're really expecting this new one to take that to the next level. This game is all about surviving, fighting off enemies, carefully managing your resources, and discovering and studying and dealing with scientific anomalies. Also, just graphically, it looks absolutely incredible. So that, if anything, sets the stage for a world that is begging to be explored, if you ask us. We really hope we see this one this year. It has been in development for a long time, and we're going to be talking about it a lot more. Next, over at number 13, a game maybe you haven't heard of. It's called Season: A Letter to the Future. This is more of a narrative-based visual novel style game with like a mystery and an adventure, but it's still got the sense of a feeling of a wide open world, and you're exploring through it. You're essentially setting out, leaving your home for the first time to collect memories before something kind of erases everything. And it's super chill, it's got a really cool vibe to it, and that's what just really adds to your exploration. You're not a person with superpowers, you're just walking around, you're cruising around on a bike, and with the game's incredible music, atmosphere, sense of space, this is what really does it. Steam absolutely loved this one, garnering it very positive. It's on PlayStation as well, and it released in January of 2023, but we didn't want you to miss it, so we wanted to mention it. It's got a very cool world and some gorgeous art worth checking out. Next, over at number 12, we have Lies of P. Yes, Lies of P is another Souls-like style game, heavily inspired by the franchise, clearly almost trying to be a spiritual successor of Bloodborne, but it's like dark and gritty Pinocchio. You're Pinocchio with a cool mech arm, and you're badass, and you use a sword, and you kill marionette puppets, and it just seems right up our alley. There was a demo, and it was pretty promising, a couple of complaints here and there, but really it's this world, this kind of Victorian horror world of Krat that we're really looking forward to exploring. The demo just kind of gave us a taste of it, but the level of detail, the real sense of like lived in feel that it has is just so compelling, and we really, really hope this game knocks it out of the park for that at the very least, because we don't want to see all this good art and environments that seem like they're worth exploring to go to waste. Thankfully, we don't have to wait too much longer though, because Lies of P is releasing this fall. Now, next, over at number 11, we have Dredge, another game that's taken the PC world by storm, but this is on multiple platforms. This is a really cool kind of seabed exploration game. So what you're doing is setting out on your little boat into uncharted waters to dig up treasures and garbage and fish. You're gonna travel back to little coastal towns to sell your stuff, upgrade your fish, but it's addictive because time isn't on your side. As you venture out and burn fuel, time passes, and you wanna get back to a town or a coast before the sun sets because mysterious, creepy horrors start coming out of the ocean and attack your ship. Also, it's harder to see, so you're gonna need lights and make sure you don't crash into rocks. Exploration is really encouraged here because it's the name of the game. The further you venture out on your ship, you kind of take that risk, the better rewards you may net. You may catch better fish, you might find more treasure on the ocean floor that you dredge up, and you're also gonna find new towns with mysterious mysteries. There's a lot to this game, and the world they built, despite it being mostly water-based, is absolutely beautiful. This is kind of like a cozy game, I would say, that like subgenre we talk about now, but it's a little creepier, but the gameplay is addictive. It's like a fishing mini game mixed with Resident Evil 4 style inventory management. It's perfect. Dredge is super awesome. It has blown up for a reason, and exploration is a big part of it, so check it out. Now, next over at number 10, we're in a similar vein, we're kind of grouping these together, is a game called Dave the Diver, another one that's really been taking the indie community by storm. This is a weird game where you're essentially diving down to the ocean floor to explore. It's deep sea exploration, but then you're surfacing up and taking your riches and managing a sushi restaurant. Yeah, it sounds ridiculous. Yes, it is, and the game absolutely rolls with it. It's not like deep exploration, open world style stuff, but you're swimming down in the ocean and discovering stuff. It's cool and addictive, and we thought it was worth mentioning. Dave the Diver is tight. Next over at number 9, we have a game called Tchia. This is kind of like a charming, more chill version of something like the Wind Waker. From the art style to the coastal style, this seems like a really cool, gorgeous, colorful sandbox world that you might want to explore. It's actually dubbed a tropical open world adventure. You're gonna be running, jumping, climbing, gliding, riding your boat, trying to find all kinds of mysteries on these beautiful islands, and along with that, you're also able to take control of any animal or object that you can find. So it kind of makes for some really interesting physics-based gameplay sandbox scenarios. It seems like it's got a lot of charm and character to it, and also the world and the way you get around it just seems gorgeous and satisfying. If you're looking to explore a tropical island with a bit of magic and some color, Tchia might be worth checking out. Next up, Avatar: Frontiers of Pandora. This is an open-world, first-person Avatar game where you create and play as a Na'vi, a native Na'vi, who was ripped away from their homeworld at a young age, raised and trained by the bad guys, and ultimately you escape and learn to reconnect with your roots, and also use guns and bows and arrows to shoot people. This seems very much like it is going to be the Far Cry formula applied to the world of Avatar, so that's going to come with its typical Ubisoft trappings, but gotta be honest, the world of Pandora seems like a place we'd really want to explore. And in this game, it's going to be a completely new region that we haven't seen in the movies. So there's a lot of opportunity there, from lore to environments to creatures, everything. And you're gonna be going around using your Na'vi abilities, running, jumping, climbing, but also using mounts in the air and on the ground to get around. If they can make the world feel at least as half as cool as they do in the movies, I'd be in. Pandora seems like a cool planet to check out. People love this movie franchise for a reason, as much as some people make fun of it. This seems pretty cool, as long as it doesn't totally get too muddled down with Ubisoft stuff like some of the problems they've had in other recent games. This could be interesting, and it's releasing this December. Next over at number 7, we have something different called Pacific Drive. This is that first-person car driving game where you're kind of driving a station wagon through a post-apocalyptic world, kind of ripped apart by weird alien science. Now, this isn't full exploration, it's not an open world thing, it's more run-based survival. But it's still worth mentioning because you're going to be driving around your car completely freely, hopping out, gathering resources, modifying your car, and collecting things to drive into an anomaly and get there safely. So there's a lot of time spent on foot, there's a lot of time spent in your car, and it does really truly feel like a journey. Even though the game is a little bit more run-based, there is a really good sense of exploration to it because you're stumbling upon all types of things in the woods, in the mountains, and the things out there that can get you and kill you are pretty weird. We have gotten our hands on this, we got to see some early gameplay with this one, and we liked what we saw. As of right now, it doesn't have a solid release date lockdown, but we know it's coming in 2023. Next over at number 6, we have Star Wars Jedi Survivor. This is just a straight up good old fashioned video game. It is not purely an exploration based game or anything, but it is a bigger, crazier game compared to the first, Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. Here, there are more planets to explore, and the main one that kind of serves as a hub is absolutely massive. It almost turns Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order into a little bit of an open world game, and it is filled with secrets, from a hidden Rancor cave with a Rancor that can kick your ass, to all types of hidden little side quests and bits of lore and funny Easter eggs, and of course, cosmetic stuff that you can venture out to find if you unlock new areas via the Metroidvania style gameplay. It's just cool stuff you can get for your cow. Exploration is pretty simple here, but it is rewarded thoroughly, not just through RPG numbers going up or anything like that, but just through the Star Wars experience, the fun of the adventure, and maybe finding a cool new jacket for your character. It works though. If you haven't checked it out, consider it. Now, next over at number 5, we have Baldur's Gate 3. This game has been early access for a while, but the end of this year, it's seeing its big full release, and if you're looking for exploration, this seems like it's going to be an incredibly massive RPG. Larian Studios are no slouches in this department, man. I mean, they build worlds, they build quests, and you can spend hundreds and hundreds of hours in their games, and Baldur's Gate 3 seems to be their biggest, craziest one yet, with in-depth character building, RPG systems, branching story stuff. There's a lot. It's been a while since we've had a game like this, a game this meaty, and thankfully, we don't have to wait too much longer because it's releasing real soon. Now, next over at number 4, we have Atlas Fallen. A bit of a change of pace. It's kind of just like an open world action adventure game, very similar to something you'd see from the mid to late 2000s. It kind of reminds me of Darksiders 2. You know, like when it went open world with death and stuff like that. This is very much like over-the-top action combat game, but you're exploring a big, weird fantasy land. You're cruising around on the sand. You're using these interesting sand powers to kind of navigate and also fight, and it just seems like it's got something cool to it. We can't quite put our finger on it yet, but we have been keeping our eye on it. It could turn out to be a little generic, or it could be a low-key surprise that nobody saw coming. At the very least, it's from the developers Deck 13, who developed The Surge 2, Lords of the Fallen, so we're gonna give them the benefit of the doubt and definitely check this out. Next over at number 3, we have Diablo 4. I mean, we had to mention it. Diablo 4 is the biggest Diablo game by a mile. It feels like an absolute open world crazy thing, which is weird to say for a Diablo game, but it totally works. The map is staggeringly big, especially when you don't get a mount right away. You're walking it all on foot, and the sense of exploration is incredible because it has those compelling gameplay loops, the RPG systems, the rewards, the things that really make you feel good about exploring, you know, stumbling upon a random dungeon or a crypt, or going in and finding something, often something that is completely off the beaten path, something to distract you from the main quest for a while, and it totally works. Diablo 4 is experiencing a season right now. There's been some issues with some patches and some updates made to the game, but when it launched, it was great. They'll probably fix it, so yeah, keep your eyes peeled on that one. We love the base game when it released, and if they're making a couple stumbles now, we expect to still see it become crazier down the line. Now, next over at number 2, we have The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. How could we not mention this one? This is an incredible exploration game because, I mean, if you played Breath of the Wild, you get it, but just the sense of size and scale in Tears of the Kingdom, it's nuts. It's essentially Breath of the Wild doubles because there's all these floating sky islands with all their own little mysteries and dungeons and things to figure out, and of course a whole underground region below Hyrule, kind of like an Elden Ring type of thing. There's so much to this game and so much to discover, and people are still uncovering all kinds of wild and crazy things in it. It is very satisfying, and if you like Breath of the Wild, this is more Breath of the Wild, but with so much more on it, and a lot of that is exploration based. Now down at number 1, of course, we have Starfield. Now Starfield, full disclosure, it's coming out this fall. It could be good, it could be bad. We don't know, but we're really excited at what it could potentially be. A Bethesda game in the style of like something like Skyrim, Oblivion, Fallout, whatever, but in space. With the freedom to go wherever you want, do whatever you want, build whatever type of ship you want, be whatever kind of spacefarer you want to be, stumble upon random planets and discover new things. There's so much potential there that we can't help but at least be kind of curious. People have their issues with Bethesda, of course, but we're hoping that they knock this one out of the park because we really like space exploration games. There's a huge market for it. People spend years in these types of games. I mean, look at stuff like EVE Online or something more boots on the ground style like No Man's Sky. There's so much to space exploration, and Starfield could really bring things to the next level if they nail it. We'll know for sure though when it releases this fall. Now, those are 15 games, but we got some bonus ones for you worth highlighting. Of course, the Talos Principle 2. Wandering around a weird world and doing puzzles seems like a pretty good pitch. Also, we don't know if it's going to release in 2023, but we wanted to mention it because we love the original. Dragon's Dogma 2, a Capcom fantasy-style RPG, is just what the doctor ordered. While Sea of Thieves, it's still doing its own thing. Skull and Bones is kind of going more the Assassin's Creed route with how those games' ship combat kind of worked, and honestly, this game has been the butt of every joke with how much it's been delayed, but frankly, we love pirate games. We want more of them, and we want to explore the high seas in pirate ships. But those are a ton of exploration games. Unfortunately, there are so many more out there. You can't really narrow them down because so many games have exploration. So we wanted to highlight these. let us know your picks in the comments. If you've got something weird you'd like to recommend, like how we recommended Pacific Drive or Dave the Diver, let us know your picks. We'd love to hear it, and it would help everybody else out looking in the comments. But if you like this video and you like what we do here, where we talk video games every single day, clicking a like button's all you gotta do. It really helps us. Thank you. But as always, thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys next time.